Holy crap, guys. Alright. Alright. I just got back from seeing a movie that I have been waiting for like a year and a half. And I am so glad to say that it was worth it. Hey guys, what's going on? It is Blue Wizard. And tonight I am reviewing... I think this is probably going to become my favorite Marvel film. Ladies and gentlemen, I tonight have seen Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes, and I actually didn't see it the day it came out. No, it comes out tomorrow, actually, but I caught a pre-screening that happened tonight, that happened today. And I am happy to say that this was a really, really good movie. Now, I want to get a couple of things straight here. First thing I need to say is that, no, I am not a fan. Well, I won't say fan, but I have not read the comics. I can't say that I'm not a fan of the comics because I haven't read them. I don't know. But after watching this movie, I want to get every comic that has ever been made that has to do with Guardians of the Galaxy and read it. I want to get like every single one now, all neatly stacked, and I want to like just get to reading every single one because now I am fully interested in this movie. This movie was so good in a lot of ways. So I guess I should probably start with talking about the writing. Give a little bit of a plot summary. Now, this is an obscure comic book. This isn't necessarily the most famous comic book from Marvel. You know what I mean? Like, there are plenty of other comics out there that are much more famous than this one because, a lot of people haven't heard of this, including me. I haven't really heard of Guardians of the Galaxy. I think I heard it a couple of times before the movie was announced, but I never familiarized myself with it. But, man, let's get to talking about the movie. The movie is about a ragtag team of misfits that live in the same galaxy, that all, that all live in the same galaxy, and they... through odd circumstances, come together as a team of mercenaries, I would say. Like, it's like the A-Team if they were in space and one of them was a raccoon. I think I'd say that. Yeah. And, we have a lot of villains. We have a villain who is trying to get one of the Arkenstones, which is I hope I said that right. It's a little bit late, so if I get any information wrong, I apologize. I just letting you know, I just got back from the theater, so, like, this is all, like, totally, coming out right now. It's one of the Arkenstones. I don't know which one they necessarily had, but it was purple, so, if you want to write in the comments, if you know about this, about the stones, tell me what it is, and, just let me know about it. But, yeah, and Thanos, who if you have watched the Avengers, you know who Thanos is. Or if you're a regular comic reader, you know who Thanos is. Thanos is working with Ronan, who is... I think that's his name. They said it a lot in the movie, and every time I heard it, I heard Ronan. So if it's not Ronan, and if it's not pronounced that, I'm sorry, but it sounded like Ronan. So Ronan is working with Thanos, and he wants to get one of the Arkenstones, and it's up to the Guardians of the Galaxy to stop them. Initially, these people, these things, like, some of them are people, some of them are raccoons, so I'll classify them as things. These things come together, and, they don't like each other at first. They have no reason to like each other. These are not your typical run-of-the-mill superheroes. These are all different, distinct people. You got Star-Lord, a.k.a., Peter Quill, that's his name, Peter Quill, played by Chris Pratt, who is he's a man who was abducted by these mercenaries. He was abducted by, I believe, thieves, these band of rogue thieves, who abducted him when he was, I think 8. I think it was like 8 years old when he got abducted, and he gets abducted, years ago, and now he's a thief. He grew up with thieves a lot of his life, so now he works for thieves. We got Gamora, played amazingly by Zoe Zandala, who you may know from Star Trek movies as Uhura. And she does a great job. For those of you who don't know, Gamora is actually one of the adopted daughters of Thanos. But, through circumstances that you find out in the movie, she betrays Thanos to come into this team. You know what I mean? And then we got Drax the Destroyer, played, oddly enough, by Batista. And when I first heard that Batista was going to be in this movie, I was like, what? The WWE wrestler? He's going to play a comic book character? And I didn't know whether or not he was going to be good in this or not. And he is. He is really, really good in this movie. He's a funny character. He has a sad backstory, but he's a really complex character in the sense of that he's the angriest of all 5 of them. He's got a lot of rage inside of him because of dark things that have happened in his past, and he's out for revenge. You know what I mean? In this movie, he is out for revenge, and with the help of his friends, he tends to cool down a bit. I won't explain exactly how, but you see that in the movie. Then you have Groot, and he is voiced by Vin Diesel. To be honest, I didn't know why they really needed to get a celebrity voice actor to voice Groot, because Groot only says one sentence throughout this whole movie, and that is, "I am Groot." That's all he knows to say. So, when that's the only thing that he says throughout the whole movie, I started to think, why did they get Vin Diesel for this movie? Don't get me wrong, I think it's great that they got Vin Diesel, but, he doesn't need to voice this character because, he's a character that doesn't really speak at all. You know who he is and how, the type of person that he is or being that he is through just the character itself, not through dialogue. So I was surprised that they got even Vin Diesel for this movie because they really didn't need to. But it's cool that they got him anyways. And then we got my favorite character out of all 5 of them, and that is Rocket Raccoon. Or Rocket. Throughout the movie they don't call him Rocket Raccoon, they just call him Rocket. And Rocket, who is voiced by Bradley Cooper, who is, in my opinion, a funny... He's a funny actor. I never took him for a voiceover actor, but he did a great job in this movie. And Bradley Cooper really made this character his own. I just watched this movie, and I honestly can't think of anybody else who plays this character. He's a loudmouth, super tough, badass, super cool, genetically engineered raccoon. And what's funny in the movie is that he doesn't know that he's a raccoon. When he was experimented on, and when he first hears the word raccoon, he goes, "What the hell is a raccoon?" He doesn't even, I don't know why, I just thought that was funny. But that is another thing I want to talk about with this movie, is that this movie is funny as hell. This is an enormously funny movie. There are so many funny jokes in this movie. There are so many funny things. Sometimes they might strike out. Every once in a while you get that type of humor where it's just people who keep talking. That type of humor, it's like Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn does that. And that's not particularly too funny, but a lot in this movie, every 5 minutes you hear a really funny joke. just a really funny little gag or something like that happens. And, you know, the Guardians of the Galaxy aren't meant to be taken too seriously. You know what I mean? This is we have a man-child, we have an assassin, we have, you know, a ball of rage, we have a living tree, and we have a raccoon. You know, to me, the comedic possibilities are endless. And, you know, that's what Star-Lord really is, or Peter. He's a man-child, and he's played as a man-child. And, of course he's a man-child because, you know, when you're abducted away from your home at the age of 8, and the only people that take care of you are, like, really dumb thieves, of course you're going to grow up to be a man-child, and he is hilarious. Like, he matures as the movie keeps going. Like, he does become much more mature by the end of the film, but, like, throughout the whole movie, he's just funny. He's just a really funny character. He's a character that you can follow. He's a character that you can laugh at, but at the same time kind of respect. You know, a whole movie is basically about how, you know, this movie basically tells you that, you know, even though society may staple you as being, you know, evil or being, you know, worthless, or, you know, no matter how much horrible stuff happened to us, you know, there are always people out there who have experienced the same thing. And that's what made these characters come together, is that they've all experienced bad things throughout their life. They've all had dirt kicked in their face. They've all had bad luck. And when they come together and, you know, they realize how much they really do have in common. Like, they are incredibly different personalities altogether, but, like, when you really get down to it, they all have been through a lot of the same things. And, you know, they together, or, like, you know, separated, they're not that great. You know what I mean? They're regular, okay, not regular, but they're not really that special. You know what I mean? They don't really make a difference. But, like, together as a unit, these complete losers, these complete, as the movie puts it, a-holes, these a-holes come together, and they are just amazing, and they ooze awesomeness. You know, I want to get a little bit back to writing because I got a big sidetrack. The writing in this movie is really, really good. This is a well-written, well-structured story. You can see that, you know, whoever was doing this movie put a lot of heart and soul to it. Now, I cannot say that this movie is a good adaptation because I have never read the comics. So, you know, you may want to look at another review from somebody else who has read the comics, but I haven't. So this is me purely talking about it just as a film. That's it. But as a film by itself, this movie was a lot of fun. You know what I mean? Dare I say, this movie was actually a little bit more fun to me than The Avengers. I don't necessarily think that it's better than The Avengers. The Avengers is a better film, but I do think that I enjoyed this more than The Avengers. Don't get me wrong, I love The Avengers. The Avengers is fantastic, but I think this has... I think this is kind of moved over The Avengers, and now I think Guardians of the Galaxy has become my favorite Marvel movie so far. Now, I will say that I still believe that The Avengers is the best movie. I do say that it is the best Marvel movie out of all of them, considering how much hype there was and how much build-up there was to this one solid movie. And, you know, like, of course, The Avengers is the best out of all of them, at least in my opinion. But as a personal favorite, Guardians of the Galaxy has wiped all the other Marvel movies out, man. I hope that other people enjoyed this. I hope other people like it. I give this movie 4... Actually, you know what? Hell with it. I give it 5. 5 whole purple jackets out of 5. This movie is a golden achievement and just awesome. This is a very enjoyable movie, and I highly, highly, highly recommend that you go out and you watch it. If you want me to talk more about it, if you want me to go more into spoilers, if you want me to speak more of my mind, leave comments below. If I get enough people wanting me to say what my opinion is, I'll say it. But, until next time, I'm Blue Wizard, and this is awesome. Also, like and subscribe.